computer. Yes. There we go. Hey, how you doing, everybody? I am joined today by the man, the myth, the legend, James Burton. Good stuff. How you doing, man?
Hello. Yeah, I'm really well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you are joining us from Thailand. So that's why I've changed my background here to kind of be reflective as if I'm still in the same place, because we definitely have a snowstorm going on outside, which is terrible. So I'm actually in Canada right now, but yeah, so very happy to have you here, James. Thank you very much. You've worked with some of the OrbisX members already, helping them with some automations, some business consulting, so on and so forth. So I'm going to just open the floor up to you, ask you to, introduce yourself and what you do, name your company, so on and so forth. And then we'll just go back and forth with some questions. So here's the floor. Thanks, James.
Thank you. So yeah, as Sean says, my name is James, and I run James Burton Digital, and I work primarily with vehicle detailers. So I'm living, breathing vehicle detailing in the digital space. All right.
Absolutely.
And it's just me, and I'm based in Thailand. And as if you ever see any past videos of my old customers, they say that even though I'm so far away in the world, it's everything still works. And yeah, like you guys have just heard,
Absolutely.
Sean's in Canada, we're here. So it's amazing what we can do, all different places in the world.
From any corner, as they say, even though it's a globe.
Any corner of the world. And yeah, I'm also in the, you can see some cafe paintings behind me. Sean and I have had some serious connection issues this morning, but we're live, the bandwidth is stable. So here we go. And yeah, today we're just gonna have a little chat about a couple of topics Sean's got in mind.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, where would you like to start, good sir?
Sure thing. So first, I'd like to also add on to your intro with that. So James has been instrumental in helping out a lot of people get set up with their social media marketing, their campaigns, but also general consulting as well, in terms of how to structure certain things for their business, how to set up automations, how to use OrbisX, of course, and its powerful features. It's really kind of a deep dive into your business. And while it may seem at times, people will say, well, I'd rather work with someone local, something like that. The time difference you could actually take advantage of, because you'll be able to get your work done during the day and then handle this stuff after hours. So it's actually kind of a benefit in a sense. But James does great work. And one of the biggest things is, as you mentioned, it's him that would be guiding you on that journey. So that's a huge plus, in my opinion, is that you'd be working with a great guy and you'd be getting good results as well. So he's also an expert in something called Zapier. If you're unfamiliar with that, it can connect OrbisX with thousands of other apps, 4,000 plus. Used to be 3,000. They literally just added 1,000 more. Everything from WordPress websites to Google Calendar, Google Sheets, QuickBooks, you name it. So that kind of stuff can be really instrumental in your business. So James is a social media guru, but he's also so much more than that as well, including, as I discovered today, a diving expert as well. So if you're ever in Thailand, you're looking to do some diving instruction, I myself may even take up on that journey as well. But today, what I'd like to do is kind of just get a little more information for people that could be a value add right now, and also through that journey, show them a little bit about your thought process and who you are and what it's like to work with you. So assuming that I was a new detailer or an existing business, and I gave you a call and said, hey, listen, I'm looking to do a marketing campaign. I want to do some that's digital, so through Facebook, but then I also want to do some print media. I'm not exactly sure what message I want to say. I know here's my packages, my pricing. How do I talk to this group of people, and how do I even identify who I'm talking to? So what would be my first steps on that campaign?
Yeah, sure. So you started off mentioning Zapier, and yeah, we can circle back around.
Perfect.
But in the situation you've just presented me with, which is very, very similar to most of the partnerships that I start with, right? You've got a goal in mind, and you kind of have an idea of the people you want to reach, and you definitely know what you sell. But like I say, you don't know how to reach those people. And maybe you've tried some Facebook ads before, you've tried a few different methods, but you can't really sell the right product to the right people. So absolutely, the very, very first thing we start with, in fact, there's two things, right? The first one on your end, whenever we start a new partnership, it's market research. Even if
Okay.
you're not embarking on a partnership with myself, if you have not yet done market research as a business owner, and I can tell you that 98% of the people that I come across have never
Haven't
done
done
any
anything.
market research. This is high school business, right? We're all
Yeah.
business owners and we haven't done one of the sort of first ever
The
steps
crucial
in high
things.
school,
It's true.
right? Go and ask your market what they want, find out who they are, okay?
It's true.
The market research aspect for me is something, it really is like taking business owners sort of back to a grade school level, but it is so important and we often overlook it. A
True,
good
yeah.
analogy I like to use is if you're trying to catch a big fat tuna, right?
Okay.
And at the moment you're using this really expensive fly fishing rod and line,
Okay.
and that's just not suitable for catching the tuna.
Yeah.
Or the other side of it, maybe you're looking at catching this really ornate little reef fish, but
Yeah.
you're using a whale harpoon.
Yeah.
And that's the analogy.
That's a good way to look at it, though.
Explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, both of these
True.
rods will catch really great fish, but you don't know what your market is. So you need to find out who they are, right? So the very easiest thing to do this is ask your past customers. You've got an idea of who you want your ideal customer to be, but you need to look at actually who you have attracted first. They're the lowest hanging fruit. Retargeting those kind of people, that's going to be your easiest chance of landing more jobs. So you need to go back and ask some of your past customers and just call them up and just say you're checking in.
Yeah.
Even by checking in and following up for a long time,
Probably get bookings on that alone.
Coating getting on.
Yeah.
That's something exactly that loads and loads of business owners haven't done. Yeah, maybe they found out after a week how the coating's done, but when was the last time you spoke with a customer you dealt with a year ago? So already they provide a load of great feedback there. But a couple of really important questions to ask is, why did you go for a ceramic coating? Straight away, most people, of course, will say, oh, I wanted extra protection. Okay, that's what we think we're selling. But here's the gold. Why? So what? So what? I gave you this coating, now what? Why did you want that coating? That's where you really get into what people are buying. Oh, well, I've got 3 kids and, you know, now I've had that interior coating. Now I can just wipe the ice cream off the seats instead of every Sunday scrubbing away at it with a bottle of bleach. Okay, bam. Now in your next ad, you can target, you know, this is a mother. So you can target mothers and you can input into that ad copy exactly what she just said. Are you tired of spending hours scrubbing your of ice cream?
Yeah.
If you were to get ceramic coating, now it's a simple wipe off and there won't be any stains. So that's that level up from just, it's not just protecting a surface, it's what's that reason behind protecting the surface. Maybe you speak with Lloyd and Lloyd says, oh yeah, I wanted my exterior protected. Oh, but why did you want it?
Why did you want this? Yeah.
He says, oh, well, I live in the country and my car gets trashed every single day. And at the weekend, I heard that ceramic coating was much easier to clean. So that was the main reason I wanted it protected so I could clean it way easier.
Just a quick spray down and now I'm done.
Yeah. So Lloyd, what do you do with all this time you've saved? Oh, well, I can actually go golfing on my Sundays now. Instead of spending 4 hours cleaning my car, I can spend 30 minutes cleaning my car and I can go golfing. So bam, there you go. You're not selling the ceramic coating. You're selling Lloyd's free time golfing. We've got to remember that we're not selling our products. We're selling what the products enable for people and what the services enable for people.
I like
or
that,
the problems they overcome. And the only way of finding this out is by conducting that market research.
That's true.
So to sort of wrap back up, where would we very first start when someone comes on board? It's a little bit of a weird and sometimes uncomfortable process for a business owner to ask these kind of questions. But every time I complete the market research phase, the partner comes back and it's like, whoa, like mind blown. For a start, they get a real insight into their market and it might be completely changed to what they think it was. But also they've now got all this really valuable information that they can feed straight into their marketing and advertising campaigns that are really resonating with those people. So
that's true, James. Yeah. and then they can reuse that same process with new customers as well. I imagine they can, when they get a new person that calls in, hey, by the way, how did you hear about us? And why are you interested in getting a coding done? It's not just when would you like it done, it's the why as well. That goes in your notes, you tuck that away and you say, okay, our next ad, because you might find out something new and then you can plug that right into your campaign and take it from there, right? So
absolutely.
I love it. Yeah. See, we do something similar in a way with our targeting, because I love that with Facebook, for example, and other platforms as well, but you can target things like people with newborns, people with new children. So that's what we do as well. We say, it's the convenience that we're giving them for, having kids, like, spilled French fries. And we always do this campaign called We Fix Gross. And so we target soccer moms, and we're like, we show a dirty van, and then we're like, we fix gross. And then we show the happy mom driving away, stuff like that. So I love it. Yeah. Now, question for you too. And this is actually one for me as well as everybody else, because I'm curious as well. In your experience, do you find that video is really crushing it still, or is there almost just as much good results with, still picture ads?
Yeah. So I think, definitely, without doubt, video is crushing it. If you're not using video, you 100% need to get on board. That being said, everything still has its place. And I think more so than simply saying video is crushing it, I think you need to have a range of different content, because people respond in different ways. So I think definitely video needs to be a core area of your certainly your social media presence, and also your advertising presence. You can definitely host it on your pages as well. And I really think, especially in COVID times, people are undoubtedly spending way more time on their phone, and people are just devouring this video content.
It's true.
So to go a step further than just saying video content, I'm going to go ahead and say it needs to be valuable video content. And you can present value on a few different ways. And one of the very main things that I try and coach people when creating videos, this is one of my workshops, by the way. I do a whole content creation workshop. So I guide you through how to write copy and how to produce videos. And it's on a framework.
I didn't even know that. So when this is done, please send me the link for that. I'm sure you've got a link for that. Please, I'm going to post that in the comments as well, because I think I'm going to be one of your first students from OrbisX to jump on that. But definitely, that needs to be shared more. 100%.
Yeah. No, that's it's people seem to quite like it when I do the workshop with them. It's really nice. It's maybe a different way of thinking about creating content, because obviously content creation can be quite a chore, but it just doesn't have to be. If you've got a couple of frameworks and a little bit of a plan, you can start really enjoying it instead of being like,
I have to do
Instagram picture, Facebook video. Like it can be long, but no, having a bit of a framework.
I like this. This will help me, because we've just been winging it
about
now,
exactly. Yeah, I was explaining about valuable video creation and get in front of the camera. You're a business owner. Most of you guys out there, vehicle detailers, of course, a huge percentage of you are just one-man bands. You're smashing it by yourselves, and then the vast majority after that is you've got 2, 3, 4 staff, but as a business owner, you're still very much spearheading your business. And a lot of your customers are coming because of you. You need to be on the front end of your social media, and you need to be presenting yourself and talking about your services.
100%.
So
that's your story, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't have to be some fancy edited video with a videographer.
Things sliding in and this.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got those capabilities, sure, do that. But get your phone, get a selfie stick, sit yourself in front of one of your technicians doing some work, or in your office, in your garage. Be yourself in your situation. And that, again, that's what's resonating with people. That alongside that market research, when you're targeting and you're addressing these people, you can do the same in the video. And I think that's what people are super craving at the moment, is that personalization. They want to know that you get them and that you can provide them a service, and put that in a video. Explain to, what was it, Lloyd with his golfing?
Yeah.
If you're a golfer as well, bam, if someone knows that the business owner is a golfer, that's a huge link. And you just
That's
have to
true.
create all these different styles of videos. Every now and then drop something that you're interested in. Or if you've got your personal car and something's given you grief with your personal car, like, I hate cleaning my wheels. If I go out for a Sunday drive and I've been hooning it a bit,
Yeah.
that brake dust is just, it's a nightmare. So I
Yeah.
use this wheel cleaner, right? And I get right in there. But on top of that, because I've got ceramic coating on there, it makes it so much easier. Guys, any of you out there that have a hard time cleaning your rims, especially with all the brake dust buildup, drop a little comment below. There you go. That was an example. That was just ripping,
and that would take like 15 seconds to do.
Yeah. And you've shown Lloyd maybe a little pro hack how to clean his wheels, but you've also given him a call to action, a reason to get in contact with you to make his life a little bit easier. So
That's
that
true,
kind of video, that's gold. Yeah. So definitely
That's a good
get
point,
on
'cause
video.
Yeah,
But don't
I know
forget
a lot
about
of people are worried.
the other content either.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried that it's, oh, I have to make this, like a Hollywood production, and it's just not the case, right? It's people, they want to hear the content first, and then so I would assume it goes kind of like this. Then you need quality content, right, versus quantity, but then quantity still has to be involved because you have to be reaching out constantly. But definitely the quality content isn't necessarily quality video per se. Like it doesn't have to be a big green screen with this and that. It doesn't even have to be you in a suit. It could be something simple. This is making me think now. One of my business partners, he had one of his dogs just had puppies. It's got like 12 of them. And I was thinking, I was like, geez, wouldn't that be cool if he brought them into work? They're the cutest things in the world. He's got like 12 of them now. If he brought them into the shop and then he was like, oh, it's bring your puppy to work day or something, showed these cute puppies like walking around the machines while he's detailing or something, that could actually, because that could attract like the dog owners and stuff. Anyway, sorry, my head's spinning as you're telling me this stuff.
No, absolutely.
This is great stuff though.
People love dogs and cats. Chuck them in the car.
Yeah.
Take your pup and rub him on the seat for a bit. And this is a great before shot. You can see like before with all the dog hair, and then you can get a quick clip of your technician doing an extraction, and then afterwards, and then get your customer sniff the seat and being like, smells great. There we go. And this is it. You've just play with the content, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Create some crazy stuff, You've got to cut through the noise.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I like that though, to be original, and these are quick things. Like, look, even just on this quick chat, I've already, like, my wheels are turning right now, and that's what a big part of this is it's the fun part. And once you're having fun, the ideas will come. It's not so much you have to sit down in a boardroom and big whiteboard. What's our golden ticket ideas? It's just have fun with it. I like that. Yeah.
Now you mentioned something just a couple of minutes ago about quantity of posting. Yeah, and I'd say more so than quantity is consistency.
Okay.
Rather than trying to smash out as much content as you can, I would say if you can only get one piece of content out a week, make sure it goes out every week on the day. Now you should be, I'd say at minimum, a business needs to be posting 3 times a week. That's pretty much a minimum, right? And I'd say that's really realistic. If you have one video, one picture, and one useful bit of text, that's a little bit of a range. And it's, if you sit down and spend an hour or 2 on one night, you can get it all done and you can schedule it for the week, and then you don't have to worry about it. But consistency. So try and post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every single week.
Okay, sure.
At a similar time. And what this is doing, not only is it keeping people regularly updated, it's also keeping those algorithms happy. Think about this. I know a few people, they will go on maybe the first day of the week or once every 2 weeks, and they will post 7 posts minutes apart. Now, the algorithms are not going to serve all of those posts to all of your people. It will serve maybe 1, maybe 2. You've wasted your time. If you're posting consistency, that's saying to the algorithms like, yes, okay, he's got some gear for me. I can free him up a space ready because I know he's going to get some good content.
He's going to deliver.
Exactly. So it's serving people. It's on that drip feeding. So I'd say if you can't
Yeah.
post every day, just make sure it's consistent. 2 posts, 3 posts a week.
Sure, yeah.
But get it
And that should be
consistent
easy
every
enough.
single
Like,
week. And
think
don't
about
miss
your
it.
week and be like, okay, you know, you usually break for lunch or something. So you know what? 10 minutes before lunch, put it in your reminder, you do a video. So then,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
lunch is coming up. That'll be what you do on your way to go do that. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I've even thought, like we do not nearly as much posting as we should right now, because I was doing it before, but I don't go to the shop as much, and we're kind of training someone new to take that over. But I've thought about, you know, they were asking like, well, what kind of topics? And I said, it could be anything. It could be a new car comes in, for example, and there's a feature or something you hadn't seen before, and you're like, wow, that's cool. Put it on Instagram. You know, it takes 10 seconds. And
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
they're like, well, it's not about detailing. I'm like, well, it's about the shop though. It's about what's in the shop,
Mm,
you know? So like
mm.
sometimes we get really cool old cars. Like we had a Model T in there not too long ago, like stuff like that, that just doesn't happen every day. That of
Yeah.
course, that's the obvious. But then there's all these little mundane things too, you know, like hey, this might sound silly, but we got a new exit sign for down the hallway, and the old one was like falling apart. So when people asked if they could use the bathroom, we were like, yeah, yeah, it's over there. They had to walk past this thing where the sign was like falling apart and blinking and all kind of stuff. It looked like they were going to get murdered down that hallway, right?
Yeah.
So we got a new sign, and I was like, that's newsworthy, because the people that have been here before, you could be like, hey, don't worry, we got a new sign. You know, it's
Don't
silly,
worry, you're
but
not going to hit your head on this on the way past again.
exactly. You know, so it's
Yeah.
all these little things that if you think about your business, you'll find something like 3 times a week. That's manageable, 100%.
Oh, so
Like,
manageable. And anyone that's sort of complaining about it, I think like suck it up and get it
yeah,
done. Because if you're in the digital space, which everyone is, let's face it,
true. Yeah,
it's part of your responsibilities as a business owner. Get it done. You have a responsibility to present yourself. You know, I
true.
often say you've got to visualize all of your digital pages. It's like a digital storefront. No
Hmm.
one in retail is going to have a suit from the 60s. Well, maybe in Thailand, but
Yeah,
no one's going to have a dusty suit from the 60s in
yeah,
their storefront. You can't
it's
have
true.
crappy, uninspirational content
It's true. Yeah,
in your digital storefront.
and
And
especially outdated.
yeah,
Like if it's
yeah,
Christmas,
exactly.
don't have your last post being Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And you know, if it again, it doesn't have to be a chore. Something that I provide partners is frameworks. Like I said, frameworks for creating the content. Okay, great. Writing the copy, as long as you
okay.
tick this, and this box on almost every post, you've got a good framework. You know what to include in the copy. In terms of planning, now you can go and make one of these, or if we ever work together, I'd give you one. You can make a content schedule. And if you have, say, an Excel sheet with a month or even your Google Calendar, and you go in there at the beginning of the month, and yeah, it's going to take you an hour or so, a bit of extra planning, but you can write down a set of 10 topics, have them different colors, and just put a different color in each of the boxes. There, you've got your whole month. You don't even need to try and think, oh, on the third week, on the Thursday, what am I going to post? You already know
It's already
that
in
you're
there.
doing a post on interior coatings. Or on
Yeah.
the second week, on a Monday, you know that you're giving driving tips. You know, like you say, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be detailing. It can be pretty much anything car related or driving related. A really,
true.
really nice winter campaign we ran before for social media. It was a series about how to winterize your vehicle. So with
I love
that,
it.
we recommended local tire places, where to get your tires switched
Wow.
over, and the importance of the tires. The next post was, if you're looking at it yourself, how to measure the depth of your tread, what pressures to keep up with.
That's
You know,
amazing.
what to have in your sort of what to have in your care pack. So like have a little
Yeah.
hand warmer and a blanket and a shovel, and have it
Exactly.
in your car for the
In
whole
case
of
you
winter.
get stuck, and yeah.
And there you go. We had the whole of November and December sorted with valuable content that the customers were coming back to
Yeah.
check, like, oh, what's the new, how am I
Exactly.
going
Yeah.
to stay safe kind of thing. And we were
And
reeling in lots of other local businesses as well, which was really cool.
that's amazing, because then you can also start working with them too at some point, possibly. You
There
know,
you
they'll
go.
be
It's
happy, or maybe they
networking.
do
Yeah.
the same. Maybe they post about you as well. But I think the other advantage there is with the algorithms, like you kept mentioning, is that when you're posting those kinds of things, even though it might not be directly related to your business, and some people say, well, I don't know, like I'm not seeing sales directly from my efforts. And it's like, well, it's because you got to put in the right efforts, and then you will see sales, but it's not a one-to-one relationship. It's not, oh, I post today and then, oh, I got 5 new coatings. It's, I post today and tomorrow and the next day and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden this snowball just happens, you know? So I think something like that's good for the algorithms, because they're going to now give your other posts that are relating to your sales priority, because it's like, oh, people keep coming back to check this. So if 1,000 people are watching your stuff, even though it wasn't sales because it wasn't your, you know, sales pitch at the time, now that you are posting something about a promo or something like that, they're going to show it to the widest audience possible. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
See, this is all fantastic stuff, man. Like, seriously. And so, and see, like, this is the kind of thing that you do working one-on-one with detailers. Like, that's just phenomenal. So, geez, man, amazing.
100%. And I think that's an important aspect of, certainly I really enjoy providing this whole package, and it's definitely time heavy on my end. But I sometimes get people approach me and say, hey, I want to run ads for ceramic coatings.
Sure.
Okay, great. But that definitely straight away, it seems simple. I want to run ads for a service.
Yeah.
But then when you actually take a little bit of a deeper dive, have you done your market research?
A lot of layers there.
Do you know who are you serving it to, and how you're going to package and present those ceramic coatings? What problems are you solving? Remember, we're not selling ceramic coatings.
It's true,
we're selling solutions to problems and benefits.
Yeah.
We're not selling Geon Ultra Super Expel Flex. You know, people don't have a clue what that shit means.
It's true.
This detailer jargon around. People don't know what it is.
They really don't. And honestly, I find that a lot of detailers waste a lot of time trying to educate the customers too. And they even say things like that, like, well, I need to educate the customer on it. And it's like, no, you don't. You need to explain the benefits. You need to explain the value. That's it.
Yeah.
Because
and
they don't care.
It's absolutely education, but it's you know, it's
a different type though. You know,
what blend.
It's well, what's the mixture? Is there, you know, is there this or is there that in it? Like, I don't care. Like, it's for me, if I go to the store and I try to, you know, buy pasta sauce or something, the result is that, oh, my kids are going to be happy. They're going to be fed. It's going to be this. It's organic or something maybe, but I don't need to know, like, well, how many tomatoes were inside the jar. Like, I don't care. That's not helping me at all make my decision, you know. So but no, that's great stuff. I think. And that is a place I think most people need to start. And I see that all the time where someone says, well, I want to run some ads for ceramic coating, and they're not working out very well. I'm like, well, okay, but to help you, this is actually a longer process than a 5-minute conversation. And that's where I think that a lot of detailers are busy, or they just don't know these kinds of things because this isn't really taught in school. I mean, you can take courses in this, but it's not part of any, as far as I know, it's not part of any basic education system in the world. You know, it's not like, okay, we have math, science, and then, you know, how to sell detail. Like, that doesn't happen, right? So I think that's where a service like yours comes in handy, because as I mentioned in the beginning, and yourself as well, is that it's so much more than just social media advertising. It's more than just running ads. This is getting walked through the whole process of what you're selling. And this could apply to anything. It doesn't have to be social media. This can be print advertising, for example. It's the same principles apply. Is where are you delivering it? Who's getting it? What's the message that you're sending to them? All of those components. And that's me simplifying it. So if it was, you know, it's the same kind of things apply. And even so much as what you said with the frequency and the quality content, you can't send a video necessarily by postcard, but you could send a link to a page with a video. So it still plays into that, right? So I think those are all things. So I guess to sum it up is that you're there to facilitate the sales process, not so much a particular platform. Some people, they say, well, I'm really interested in Facebook. And, you know, where you are, maybe Facebook just isn't the right demographic. Maybe people are more using Instagram, or maybe they're using Google or YouTube. Who knows? So I think that's part of your discovery process, I imagine, is figuring out that part of the audience as well. It's not just who they are, but where they are. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely it. Everyone, you know, it keeps flowing down. Just like detailers, they sell different products to different people. based on geographical and so many different influences. Again, something that I apply to a detailer in Melbourne in Australia could be completely different to doing it in the west coast of the UK. You know, they're completely different markets, and that's certainly part of it. It's whenever I come on board as a partner,
that discovery phase.
Important. That discovery phase is an important part of it, and I always do that alongside. I will take a deep dive into the digital storefront, if you like, of any partner I work with. And while I'm doing that, I will set them off on the market research. And around week 2 or week 3 of partnership, we come together and we then rediscuss. Again, it's this basic, it's like high school business stuff, but
it's so crucial.
They're easy to get missed out. But we come back and we're like, right, these are your products. This is your ideal customer. This is your past customers. You accumulate all of that and you package and position your services. From there, we can start creating ad campaigns via the most realistic channel. Automation as well, like you mentioned earlier a little bit about Zapier, at every step of the way, and OrbisX to a massive 100%. Extent as well. Every step of the way, if you can save a few seconds on a process that you do multiple times a day, that accumulates to saving you a lot of time. And this 100%. Is it as well. Lots of people, it's that why, again, that layer deeper. Yes, people want to sell more coatings and earn more business, whatever. But actually, do you really want to get busier and busier and busier and sell more? Or do you want to become more efficient, save more time to spend with your family and your kids?
It's true.
And maybe working on your own project in your garage as opposed to other people's project. And this is that thing. Like, if I can incorporate more leads, more sales, more training and that side of things, but also save a bit of time and provide some lasting frameworks and some lasting lessons that you can apply to your business potentially forever. That's what really makes me happy. Even if 100%. It's a 3-month partnership or a 3-year partnership, I like to know that I've provided some lasting benefit, as opposed to just sort of starting a campaign, got your few leads in the door, that's it, see ya.
Exactly.
I like to know that, you know, I've helped on
create something meaningful.
Planes. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, and that's what when we first met, that's what struck me as being different, because I'm the same way. Like for the last little while, I've been just giving away OrbisX for 12 months, you know, and people were like, "You're a madman." And I said, "Listen, I want to do something meaningful for people. And the way to do that is to get it in as many hands as possible, but have it be a meaningful thing." I knew what I built was incredible, but I needed to get people to actually use it. And I was like, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, it's just not enough time for them to experience the true value. I said, if I really want to make a difference in these people's lives, I've got to do something substantial. And that's what it was. And it wasn't just, here's your program, okay, see you later. It's, here's your program, and I come with it. You know, I'm going to be there for advice, content, 100%. Whatever you need. And that's where people are, you know, well, you've seen it. They're like, geez, this guy's a robot. Like it's true in a way. I guess I'm just fueled by the passion of helping people. No, it's
that's exactly it. It comes back round, you know. When you are putting in so much effort to actually make a difference, and you're going out of your way, you know, it's, call it karma, call it whatever you like. It does come back around. So by providing OrbisX like that, and by providing like ultimate support and constant upgrades, and getting it to a stage where you're truly listening to feedback from the people that are using the service,
100%.
Now, you have a lot of people that are using your product, and they're backing you, and rightly so. It's the natural progression of you providing 100%. An outstanding service and getting outstanding support. And
people are like, I'm in love.
No, that's exactly it. It's like, it's the way honorable and effective business works.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. See, and that's it. See, both of us creating magic. This is nice. Yes. And it's one of the books I just finished reading too. It was by the Walt Disney Institute. It's called Creating Magic, actually, and it's about how to create magic in your business and stuff like that. It's Really good read.
Oh, I just got little goosebumps. You explaining that? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to read that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny. They talk about all the little things that happen in Disneyland, of course, well, Disney World, right? And little things like when you're walking through and you're in a certain segment, you don't even realize, but far in the background, in a man-made lake that they made, there's a pirate ship and they're having a little battle, but it's so far in the background, it's not even part of the main scene, but the whole thing is creating that magic. It's all those little touches. And that's the little things that I've tried to do in the business, and not even so much just in the software itself, but I'm sure you've noticed anytime I reply to somebody, I'm like extra happy. I throw in emojis. I'm like, all done, smiley face. Every email I send, all done, smiley face. There's at least one smiley face. And I saw it once. It happened to me. I got a smiley face in an email. I was like, wow, that felt amazing. And I wanted to give that feeling to everybody. Yeah. So I do it now, probably annoyingly so, but I do it. And I that's my signature now. And I set up millions of things like that just became part of my fabric of who I am. And that creating magic, it all stemmed from, so I studied Walt Disney Institute. They actually have, it's kind of like a university of sorts. So I'm a graduate of there, but then I also read all the books. And one of the recent ones I read was Creating Magic, because I didn't know they had it in a book form, but I did the lessons before in the class. Anyway, it's a really good read. There's lots of stuff in there about, they have this kind of like compass of how they determine what magic to do and what magic not to do. It's a really good read. I don't want to give away too much. It's worth it. Yeah.
Man, I want to get my teeth into that desperately.
Yeah. It's good.
I'll reflect that. I don't know if you've read it. I've just finished Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Amazing, right? Yeah.
You've got that one. So
yes.
This is like it's very similar to another one, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And again, in a similar way to what you're talking. Oh, so that's your next one, Slight Edge by Jeff Olson.
Slight Edge.
But it's similar, and the underlying theme for all of these books is basically the 1%. All of those little simple things that are so easy to do on a day-to-day basis and so minuscule, they're so easy not to do as well.
100%.
But accumulated over time and compounded over time, they can either give you a huge advantage or an equally huge disadvantage.
Exactly. And it won't be staying the same. It'll be
exactly
advantage
the easiest
or disadvantage.
Way for me, there's something common to all of us, is eating. Sure, if I go and have an all-you-can-eat buffet today, I'm not going to be in the worst shape of my life. But if I eat shit all day, every day, of course, I'm gonna be massively unhealthy. But equally, if you put a bit of effort into eating a little bit better, over the course of a year, you're going to be way, way healthier. And this is the same across the board in all walks of life and in detailing and in your detailing business.
100%.
That one tiny thing that you maybe did or didn't do, like leaving a little branded packet of mints in your car, something that you feel like you do it for a month and you're like, oh, I was being really nice and leaving these mints and no one mentioned it. And maybe it didn't have an impact. So you stop doing it. Easy to stop doing, right? But maybe doing that over the course of a year, you become the mint guy, the detailing mint guy. And suddenly people are talking and you overhear in a coffee shop, randomly, you're like, oh yeah, like this detailer, he leaves me mints in my car. And he does a great job, but pretty much the only reason I go, I love the mints compared to the detailer next door. They basically provide the same service, but I love.
But this guy gives me the mints.
You know? Exactly. Anyway, that was we got a bit off the topic there, but yes, all those little 1% that, even though on a day-to-day basis they may not be getting results, or it's maybe not a drastic change.
The sum of all the parts, though.
You put in the work now, you're paying it forward, right? That's
100%.
You're paying it forward. Put the effort in. Uncomfortable now for comfortable later, right? That's the key.
100%. Yeah, and that's where it's funny. A lot of people, I agree 1,000%. A lot of people tell me like, "Oh, you're so disciplined," and this and that. And it's not that I'm disciplined. I just make a list and work the list. So I guess I'm disciplined in one thing, is that I make sure I do my list. And so I use to-do list apps. I have this one, it's called Todoist. They have free plans as well, but I actually paid for it. And so like, who pays for a to-do list? You know what I mean? Like, well, I do, because I take it seriously. And so I pay for that. And the thing is, they give you points. So I get these like karma points and stuff like that when I do, I set a goal.
I want a little dopamine hit.
Yeah, exactly. And then they give me these rewards and they say, like,
The little
oh, this
things
is how
though.
you've done throughout the year. But those kinds of motivations keep me going. But the biggest thing is this: I told myself I have to do at least 5 things a day, and significant things, and I make sure that 4 of those are work related, but one of those is always personal. And that way, at least every day I'm doing something for myself. And I put that in because I used to be a quote unquote workaholic and I didn't take any time off for myself. Now people see me and they're like, man, you work all the time, but they don't realize that, no, I work very efficiently. I take a significant amount of time for myself, actually. Like we just booked a trip, we're going to Cuba as well. And I'm going to work when I'm there, but I'm going to work for maybe 2 hours a day. But it's what I get done in 2 hours. That's amazing compared to most people that twiddle their thumbs for 8, right? And so it just
Yeah,
looks like I work a lot, but I just work really quickly and I efficiently, really is what it is. But it's all those little habits. But on that note, atomic habits, I think, would be helpful for people to understand what you meant about consistency as well with the posting.
yeah,
Is that it's
yeah.
that consistency will pay off over time. But man, okay, that is amazing. So the Slight Edge, that I gotta check that one out. And Creating Magic. So if you're gonna get the Creating Magic, though, I think it might be on Audible as well. But there's 2 of them that I would recommend reading at the same time, both from Disney. One is Creating Magic, and the second one is Be Our Guest. And the reason I recommend them both at the same time is they kind of tie in hand to hand with each other. They're very short reads. I think one of them's only 200 pages, something like that. The other one was a little more, but yeah. And I have a speed reading course I'll share with you as well. I'll send it to you when
Okay,
we're done here. I
awesome.
I read a 400-page book in 30 minutes, so that's my my reading
Whoa,
capabilities.
man,
So
I love to read, and I seriously see the benefits of it. But I'm still one of those ones that reads a paragraph and then like forgets, and I have to read it again. And like,
yeah. I used
I'm
to be
still
like
one
that
of
too,
those
though.
people.
Yeah,
Um,
but I'll send you this because I wanted to make a serious investment in reading. The course was $1,500, but it literally reprograms your brain. So anyway, I'll send it's like 4 hours of video, but you have to watch it start to finish. It literally reprograms your brain because in school
yeah,
they teach you to read, like letters first, like A, B, C, D. Then they teach you to read a word. When you look at the word, let's say a stop sign, you don't look at it and go STOP. You just look at it and say, oh, stop, right? Now
mm,
imagine if you could do that with sentences and then
yeah,
paragraphs. It's
yeah,
insane. Anyway, it's good, but you retain the information still. It's not skimming. So it's
yeah.
anyway,
Agree.
that's for another time. We're getting
Yeah,
but okay, perfect. Well, I tell you what, James, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your time. I hope everyone who watches this has now a much deeper and better understanding of James and what he brings to the table with Burton Digital. James is going to tell you right now how to get a hold of him, how to get in touch with him. And I will also post that in the comments below as well as a link to your course. Is there a name for the course?
there's not yet.
Not yet.
It's a work in progress, in fact. So
Aren't we
the
all?
workshops that I've yeah yeah
Yeah.
the workshops I've been mentioning, they are part of my full partnership program. So
I love it.
I provide them, yeah, one-on-one workshop style, similar to what we're doing now, but with sort of materials referencing.
Sure.
So this is something that I know we've mentioned actually before, but I'm actually going to test the water right now, in fact, and
All
I'll
right.
say that I would love to take on everybody as a partner, but
Yeah.
already this year I'm at capacity. It's a wonderful thing, but
Yeah.
also it sucks because I can't take anyone else on. But something I'm looking at doing is potentially putting together some training materials. Like I said, the
Perfect.
content creation workshop, I can put it together as a pre-recorded video with all the relevant documents and some action items for
Love
you
it.
to go out and do yourself. And if that's something people are interested in, absolutely. Maybe I'll set up
100%.
a little comment in OrbisX.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
but aside from that, absolutely. If you guys are interested in anything that we've been speaking about today, reach out for sure, because we've all got to be networking. And if I ever do
Sure.
free up some time, I'd love to, if we've been talking regularly, I'll be reaching out to you first. So anyway, you can get me through Facebook. You'll see me in OrbisX. It's James T. Burton. At the minute, I've got a bartending profile picture of me pouring some spirits. Anyway, James T. Burton, message
Perfect.
me on Facebook, or you can email me at info@jamesburtondigital.com. And
Perfect.
yeah, I'm online most of the
That's
time. Just like you,
fantastic.
Sean, message me and I'll get
Exactly.
back to you within the day.
Yeah, it's
So yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely. If you're interested in anything we've spoken about, reach out to me and we'll see what we can do in the upcoming few months. But
100%.
on a wider scope than that, yeah, to anyone that is watching, watch this space, because very, very close on my radar, I'll be putting together a lot of what I do in my partnership program, but breaking it out into smaller segments. And
Nice.
that way you guys can
Little
cherry pick what
modules.
you're interested in, learn what
Yeah.
you want. And yeah,
I
we'll
like
go
that.
from
Little
there. But
modules.
I'll drop, yeah,
And
I'll drop a post in the OrbisX group and see what
please,
the desire. After all, we've got
yeah,
to know if the people actually
please
want
do.
it,
And that
right?
way you'll know too where to
Um,
start and
yeah,
so on and so forth.
there we
And
go.
then
Bit of
on that
market
note,
research for myself.
exactly 100%. See, practice what you preach, 100%. And I think this will be
Exactly.
good too, because what I'm looking at doing is later this year, I want to basically implement some training modules in OrbisX that would be kind of like here's a free mini course, let's say, with like 2 or 3 modules, and then if you want to upgrade to the full course, it would cost X, and then basically just have vendors like yourself. Basically, you could be listed in there and say, here's my course, kind of like a masterclass. I'm not sure if you're familiar with
Yes.
that website, but I love masterclass. Yeah, I watch tons of them. But I just finished the one with Bill Nye, actually, Bill Nye the Science Guy. But there's actually a fantastic one there on negotiating with a guy that he taught the FBI negotiators, and he teaches you how to basically negotiate your way through life and business and everything. It was amazing. I highly recommend that as well. So a lot of resources and gems in this little podcast we did here. I like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so anyways, would love to have you participate as well in the offering for the course modules and stuff when that gets off the ground. Definitely post asking people's feedback on what they would like to see in the modules, or basically have at it with the market research. I think you're a great guy. Awesome to have you in the group as well. And so thanks for your time. I know we had some connection issues in the beginning, but we're back on track now, which is awesome. And we'll do this again, James. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks for
Perfect.
having me, Sean.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon. Yes,
Signing
sir.
out.